Ever sent an email and noticed a typo right after hitting send? Yeah, we've all been there. But what if you had an AI-powered writing assistant that made sure that every word you typed was polished and professional? Typos, bad grammar, and wordy sentences can hold us back. Worse, editing takes forever. Grammarly is like having an editor in your pocket. It not only corrects grammar and spelling, but also makes your writing sharper, more persuasive, and even tailored to your audience. Let's take a closer look at Grammarly, shall we? Hi, the AI cheerleader here, and today we are going to meet Grammarly. So let's go ahead and go to the Grammarly.com website, and please notice it is Grammarly as the spelling. And download the Grammarly browser extension as well. You'll see that shows up as one of my extensions. And the nice thing about having that, of course, is when you're in emails or it works, within different browsers or Google Docs, Microsoft Word, essentially it will integrate with all of those. So you're always going to be spell checked to the T. So fundamentally, what is Grammarly and how does it work? Essentially, it is your spell check. It also will provide you with clarity and conciseness suggestions. So it may highlight very wordy sentences. It suggests a clearer alternative. It helps remove unnecessary filler words, so better readability. The tone adjustments and formality settings can be played with too. So as you're putting on that hat, depending on who you are about to write, you may want a certain tone to be conveyed in the way that you're writing. If you want it more authoritative or you want it to be casual and friendly, these are cues that you can Grammarly. So again, it customizes your tone, friendly, professional, confident. It also helps just match your audience. So again, whether writing a casual email or needing a formal business report or presentation, Grammarly adjusts to you. So Grammarly's tone detector can ensure your words sound exactly how you intend them to. So I'm in Grammarly now, and I have used it for a number of things, including helping fine-tune some of my book edits. And another great feature that we're going to talk about in a second has to do with plagiarism. It's important that I get it right and that I'm either direct quoting and then citing appropriately, or if it's a general idea, again, it's just going to be my little professor kind of on my shoulder there, making sure that I'm doing it absolutely correctly. So let's go ahead and bounce in, if we will. If you're working on a new document within Grammarly, again, you may not always be in Grammarly. You may be writing an email and you will notice that it just pops up. But let's just envision we've started a new document. I'm going to go ahead and click into something that I've already created, because there are a lot of ways that you're going to be able to see things like, let's look at here, your overall score, for instance. So it's going to go ahead and give you a rating on how it's performing thus far with clarity, correctness, engagement, delivery, and just kind of an overall style guide. You'll see that each of the indicated highlighted areas will then come over here to your review suggestions panel, and it will suggest a correction for it. So once your piece of written work is in Grammarly, you can click on the different review suggestions. So currently I'm in the correctness lens, if you will. So it's going to pull out very quickly, is this how I'd like to say you're greeted, you are, your, it'll ask, what your preference is. It also will identify inconsistent punctuation. So you can see it's asking if I want straight or curly punctuation. So you can also just kind of review all. If you like it to be corrected with straight, you can update it all in one fell swoop. You'll go through and just go into each of the categories. So perhaps in clarity, imagine stepping into your favorite cafe one morning. So let's go ahead and accept that change instead of the familiar barista. So I like that. I understand why it made that suggestion. You can just work through your document and go ahead and review all of the different clarity suggestions. And then let's look at engagement. Engagement will be things like, here is the AI journey. It wants you to be stronger and engage your audience, so it's suggesting that you use the word mainly. Well, I kind of like that too. So I'm going to go ahead and accept that and let it change that one as well. Okay, so I'll show you for working on school projects, writing a book, anything where you might need to appropriately reference or cite your source. What you have over here is your Check for AI text and plagiarism tool. And in this particular case, I have gone ahead and plugged that in to this particular chapter of my book. And what it's doing is basically identifying areas where I referenced another source. So it's providing that reference, which is great because then I can just copy that reference. It's copied to my clipboard. I can go put it in a Word document, and therefore I'm cataloging all of my references in one area really easily in the appropriate APA. As you can notice, there's the different formatting up here. It can be MLA or Chicago formatting. So I've got it plugged into APA. And then it just detects text that resembles AI. So of course, I used a lot of AI. I wanted to be correct. And so, each sentence that's been restructured is going to be called out, if you will, and that's fine. There is nothing wrong with doing that. But it will go ahead and, call out here that 63% of my text had patterns that resembled AI text. So that's fine. Again, nothing wrong with that. If you are publishing, you do, however, have to, for instance, on Amazon's Kindle publishing platform, you will need to indicate that you strongly used AI, or it assisted you, or to just what degree was AI used to produce your material. So this, again, is a way to keep that all above board. You can also write with generative AI. So let me show you how that looks. So first you can set your voice. So I want it to be fairly neutral, and I do perhaps like to be confident and witty. Your profession, you can indicate what your profession is. I don't know what I just clicked, but we'll go with product designer, why not? And what language you prefer to use this voice in. So I'll say use this voice, and then I'm going to, what do I want to do? Let's see, I want to improve it. So I'm going to go ahead and hit improve, and let's see what section it's wanting to maybe improve for me. So you actually need to highlight the section. So let's go ahead and just say I want a different intro here. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight that and say improve it. And there it goes, clipping away examples that, again, maybe you don't like it. You want it to, shorten it. So now I can go ahead and hit shorten. It'll take that same 3 paragraphs and go ahead and shorten it with the same impact. If I say I want it a little more on brand, so I hit more on brand, and now it's going to go back in, and the content that you've kind of put into it already, it will remember and kind of stay with that flow of the same tone and style and brand that you want to use actually were included. Very beginning, you can actually set your goals. So if you're looking here, we have this goals section right here, and similar to what I just did when I wanted my brand voice, if you will, you could choose what the domain is. You can choose what your intent is. Are you, trying to convince? Are you, wanting to be knowledgeable or neutral? All of those are goals that you set up ahead of time before you have Grammarly do. Okay, let's say you have a social media post and you're, wanting to change it up for a different post. So I've kind of plugged in an email or post that I've used in the past, and let's just say I want to make it more descriptive. So over here, what I had clicked on was in the More Ideas section. I went ahead and opened it up, and look at the rewrites. So make it more descriptive, make it more detailed, simplify it, make it informative, sound fluent. So there's quite a few options here to kind of get you going on it. And so let's say I want to know what my main point is. The goal in this input text is encouraging the use of AI tools. Good. That's what I wanted to make sure was my emphasis. That's what I want folks to know. So it got that right. So again, I'm going to kind of change it up this next time. So I'm glad that it's on point, but how about now I want some ideas for improvement. Let's see what it suggested. So it wants to personalize the message further, so incorporate a more specific example relevant to the recipient's interests. So I like that. Add a visual, absolutely a good idea. So again, it's just going to be a great thought partner for you while you brainstorm the best post that you can get out of this. So let's say I want a different headline. I don't actually have a headline here. What features does Canva AI offer for beginners? Are there any costs associated with using Canva AI? So it's giving me some great suggestions for a post on this. So let's say I've written a longer piece of work, but now I want to bring it to my team so I can just give them kind of an overview and a highlight maybe in an outline. So let's see what happens when I hit draft and outline. So again, it looks like for things like this, you may need to consider adding a main point, important supporting details, and the goal or purpose of your writing. So this is a little brief. Let me do that. Okay, so let's go into chapter 2, shall we? And see what it would do with something that had a little bit more content, had actually an objective. So again, I'm in the Write with Generative AI section, in the More Ideas section, and at this point I wanted to ask it to draft an outline for me. So let's see what that might do. So again, you see in different ways that Grammarly can really boost your confidence in your writing skills. There's also a bit of a dashboard, if you will, that will have places that have your version histories. You can download straight from that, and you can also work with teams, integrate different apps with it. So that was something earlier that I showed you how you can create those extensions and make it really easy so they're automatically there. Ta-da! You've learned Grammarly. How do you like that little confetti there? So I hope, again, Grammarly is one of the easier apps that are out there for AI. If you're not using it, I don't understand why not. Turn it on, and you can turn on your vocabulary. We'll see you next time with the next AI Cheerleader Challenge. Thanks a lot.